Wunda Babes. Today's class is a live recording of our workout with our Kickstarter supporters. So a big shout out to everyone who got their WundaCore first, but you need to grab yours right now to get moving. This is singles and doubles. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a closed parallel plie. So that means our knees and toes are touching. The WundaCore is the wide way in my hands. And a plie is going to mean that we keep our torso upright. So we're going to exhale as we crease at the hips. Inhale as we rise up. I'm going to show you from the profile. As we lower down, we're going to keep our shoulders stacked right over our hips rather than allowing a tip forward. So it's an exhale down and an inhale to come up. Finding equal weight across the soles of your feet. Finding that lift on the inhale. I'm going to come towards you to show you that the WundaCore is about chest height, and I have intention inbound on the WundaCore. It doesn't change shape. Keep going down and up on your end. It doesn't change shape, but what it does is it lights up the midline of your body like a zipper, and it broadens the collarbones and inflates your middle back. So that's what we're after with the effort of the WundaCore. We're going to change it up now. This workout is called singles and doubles, so we are going to go into single-sided work as well as double-sided work, passing it back and forth. So now we're going to take a right foot forward and lower into a lunge, both knees bend, and then we step back to the plie, go through center. Take the left foot forward, both knees bend, both hips crease, inhale, rise, and back to the plie. So that's our pattern. The right foot steps forward, both knees bend, and 2 feet together, plie, inhale to rise, exhale, lowering into the lunge on the left side and back. So you can do this at your own pace. And I like to think about moving from the inner thighs to bring the legs forward and back rather than from the feet. And you'll feel a lot more core intention. Are you still sending energy inbound on the WundaCore? That's what we're after the whole time. This is going to be our second to last one on the left. Think about those collarbones broadening, the middle back opening, lower down. Last time on the right, and we're doing a plie in the middle, and then last time on the left, and bring it all the way back. All right, we're gonna come down onto our mat, and I'm taking the WundaCore around my ankles. We're gonna go into a forearm plank. So it's going just above the ankle bones, and I'm gonna turn over. The easiest way to kind of get into this is to get on your knees first. And then elbows come down, palms go flat. Then we're gonna lengthen the legs, knees lift off the mat. If this is a good challenge for you, stay here. If you want to look for more, keep your feet down, but we're gonna roll onto the right shoulder, left arm raises. This is an inhale. And then we're gonna exhale, bring it back through center. We're only going to the right on this series. Inhale to open, and exhale, bring it back. As you're working, think about lifting away from the shoulder and the elbow rather than sinking down into it. And what's happening with that WundaCore? Did we kind of forget about it? Is it hanging like a bracelet? You want to make sure you find that connection to your WundaCore the whole time, sending energy outbound, and you'll notice when you send that energy outbound, you light up through the low belly, through the transverse abdominis. Keep that going. So on your end, we're finding that lift and that rotation, lifting off the shoulder. We're not hunkering down into it, and we're keeping our body in a nice diagonal line rather than allowing the hips to pop up or to hang down. Let's go for one more on this side. We're gonna keep that WundaCore right where it is. Bring both forearms down, and then we're gonna walk up onto our hands. How does that feel like a little bit of relief? It does, because that forearm plank is wicked. And we're just gonna hold and breathe. Find your collarbones nice and wide. Think about your hands like starfish suctioning off of your mat. Your gaze is straight down. Nice deep breaths here. We're gonna inhale, reaching up and back into a pike, stretching through the back line of the body. And then we're gonna exhale, bring it back to your plank. Inhale, think about fish hooks on your sitting bones. Reaching up and back, collarbones stay wide, and exhale back to start. Again, find that outbound intention on your WundaCore. Find that outbound energy, and that's gonna light up the inner thighs, the outer thighs, and through the low belly. Let's go for one more like that. Bring it back, and you can bring the knees down and come back onto your forearms. We're gonna take that rolling plank on the other side. Palms go down, knees come up. If it's a good challenge for you to hold here, go for it. If you're looking for that rolling action, this is what it looks like from the back. Notice that I have lots of connection to the middle back. I'm not winging the shoulder blade. Inhale as you roll with intention. Lift away from the shoulder. Lift away from the elbow. So as you're working, we're finding that connection to the middle back and energy through the outer thighs. I'm going to show you from this angle that the WundaCore is here, just above the ankles, and it's being held in place by that outbound intention rather than allowing it to hang. So keep working on your end. We're doing the nice broad opening as we rotate. We're going to go for two more, just like that. Last one. And bring the knees down. Nice job, you guys. I can see you on your end. It's looking great. Okay, we're going to come onto our seat and take that WundaCore around the ball of your right foot. Once you're there, we're going to send the left leg long and the underhand grip with the right hand. Underhand grip with the right hand. It's going to look like this when we lay down. So now we're on our back. Right leg is long, but I'm not hanging off of the WundaCore. I'm not giving it a lot of weight like a water ski. It's a light touch. You can take your left arm long, and then we're going to inhale as we peel the head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale as we rise into a seated position. My right foot is still off the floor. And then lean with the flat back on an inhale. Exhale, roll the tailbone under you, roll the low back, roll the middle back, upper back, and head touches down. Inhale, head picks up. Exhale, curl through the spine to rise up, articulating through your spine. Inhale, long at the top, lean with the flat back, and exhale to roll down. So that breathing pattern, my friends, is an inhale at the bottom here to pick the head up off of the mat. Exhale as we curl and rise. It's an inhale to recommit to that length and that light touch on the WundaCore, and then exhale to decelerate and lower down. Slowly reaching, finding control in both directions. You can always hit the left toes underneath the couch or something if you need to, as you're building strength to get your body ready for this series. You can also take your hand behind the base of your skull, and that will help support your neck. So that's a nice way to help support your neck as well, especially if you have a sensitive neck. Support the weight of your head in your hand. And let's make this the last one. We're going to roll down and go into some scissor leg work. All right, bring it all the way down. We're going to take the WundaCore the wide way, like this. So I'm taking one of those curves, there's the camera. We're taking one of those curves and putting it right onto our right thigh. Then my hand goes against the WundaCore. So now my right leg is in tabletop. I'm giving intention into the WundaCore from my thigh, and I'm also giving intention into the WundaCore from my right hand. All right, all we're gonna do to start with is go into single leg extension. Inhale as you reach, exhale as you fold. Rather than moving just from the knee, so I'm not riding my knee joint, what I'm actively doing is using the hamstrings connected to the psoas, my abdominal muscle that's like a suspender, to extend the leg, and the inner thigh and the abdominals to bring the leg back to tabletop. Hamstrings deliver the leg long, inner thigh draws it back in. Both of those working with the abdomen to make that happen. And the WundaCore is keeping my leg exactly where I would like it to stay. If you'd like to level this up, what you can do is hover your left leg off of the mat and continue with that leg extension on the right. Make sure your left leg is parallel. It might want to roll in to turn out, but maybe swivel that inner thigh towards the floor a little bit. And then we can always add an abdominal curl. So now I have my left hand underneath the base of the skull and I'm holding an abdominal curl while I go into that extension, adding flexibility and power while I'm connecting the legs to the core. Let's go for the last one. We're gonna hold the leg long, and scissor the left leg up. Those are the inner thighs breathing. Reach the hamstrings long, keep the tailbone heavy, and the spine neutral. Let's go for 2 more. We're gonna take that WundaCore between our legs. Last one, and bring both feet down. All right, WundaCore is gonna go the narrow way between our inner thighs. So it's gonna go this narrow way, and those concave curves go between your inner thighs. That's the way we all kind of wanna gravitate towards, right? That's the first thing almost everyone does who gets a hold of a WundaCore. All right, we're gonna come onto our forearms again. And we're gonna lift off of the elbows, keeping the collarbones nice and wide. Keeping our knees bent, we are going to exhale, float the legs into a teaser position. So straight away, I want you to kind of play around with your hips, play around with the position of the knees to see where we're gonna get that most intense core connection. So we're not gonna be mashing in on the WundaCore at all. Give it some breathing room. Maybe you adjust the position a little bit. I just moved mine up a tiny touch. All right, now we're ready to work. We're gonna inhale, legs go long. Exhale, drag it back in to start. And the idea is, guys, we're trying to find that core connection rather than the hip grip on the front side of your legs. So I have a shallow curl in my spine. I've rolled my tailbone under ever so slightly. And what this is doing is the feedback I'm getting on the WundaCore, on the inner thighs, is connecting me more deeply to the abdomen. Keep working on your end. I'm going to show you from this angle. It's a little bit hard to see because of my black outfit. But you can see that it is, there we go, that it is coming straight in and straight out. And we want to make sure we're not mashing in on it at all. You can kind of test that theory. Try one where you're really narrowing in, putting a lot of pressure in on it, and then you'll feel that doesn't feel great. And then give it more breathing room, give it a lot of space, yeah? Let's go for 2 more like that. Sending it long, those hamstrings are delivering. Make sure that we are lifting off of the shoulders and the elbows. Let's hold the next one, knees bent, hold. We're gonna find that tailbone reaching long away from crown of head, and all we're gonna do is send energy away from and into the WundaCore. Away from and into. To level this up, you can come onto your hands rather than your forearms. And for a sincere balance challenge, you can take your hands up and go into that same sequence where we're sending energy away from the WundaCore and bringing it back in. We're not looking to mash it or change the shape. It's about passing that energy back and forth and really lighting up the core. Let's go for 2 more like that. And last one, bring it all the way down. Nice work, you guys. Let's go into our single leg scissor series on the other side. So we're gonna take that WundaCore and the curved part goes against our thigh. We're gonna take our leg into a tabletop position. Right leg goes long, and we're gonna start with those single leg extensions. Inhale as you reach, and exhale as we fold back to start. Find some intention, sandwiching your WundaCore. Inhale as you extend, exhale as you reach. I'm gonna come over and peek in on you guys, see how we're doing. That looks awesome. Keep the tailbone nice and heavy, beautiful. And keep your energy in between the hand and the leg, or you can think of from the hip and the shoulder. Inhale as we reach, hamstrings deliver that leg long. Exhale as we fold it back down. Nice, you guys. So if you want to level that up, you can take your right leg off the mat a little bit and just hover it off of the mat as we're working through the single leg extension on the right side. And that's going to increase the challenge. You can always add an abdominal curl, hand under your head. Inhale to reach. I'm shaking on my end. Inhale as you reach. I hope you're finding that connection to your body. Think about the thigh bone dropping heavily into the pelvis. And last bit, let's hold the leg long and scissor the right inner thigh up and bring it back down. So I'm still finding intention from the thigh into the hand, or take it a little deeper and go from the hip to the shoulder. Last two. We're gonna go into our roll up on the left side. Last one. Whew, and bring it all the way down. All right, let's take that WundaCore around the arch of our left foot, and we have an underhand grip on the WundaCore with our left hand. Right arm comes up. We're gonna inhale as we pick up our head. Exhale as we curl up into a seated position. Inhale, recommit to length at the top. And exhale as we lower back down. So that right hand can always be behind your head to help give your neck some support. The idea is to find some length and reach through the whole series. Even though we're doing a deep curl, you want to find that length on all sides of your body as we work. Think about reaching the crown of head long from the tailbone as we rise. Again, you can always hook your right toes under something if that helps you while you're building strength and gives your body some support. Inhale as we lift, and then we're going to exhale, thinking about our spine like gear wheels, lowering one vertebra, or even better, one space between each vertebra every time. Lowering all the way down. Let's make this last one our best one. Inhale, pick up your head. Exhale as we lengthen and reach. Inhale, lean, and exhale, slowly decelerate all the way down. All right, fabulous. We're gonna come onto our knees now, and we're gonna have our right foot forward, and we're gonna have the WundaCore under our right hand. So left knee is down, and right foot is forward. Right side has the WundaCore. I have it the long way next to my hip. I'll turn myself around so you can see that a little bit more clearly. All right, we're gonna start here, and the left arm comes up and over. And I want you to notice that I'm sending energy down into the WundaCore, but I still have a bend in the elbow that keeps my collarbones wide. All right, so just find that connection, find that intention, and see how it lights up your inner thighs straight away. So you should feel the inner thighs fire up when you send that intention down, not to mention the shoulders, triceps, and middle back, yeah? And then we're gonna fan the left ribs. So it's gonna be a fan, and then bring it up. So the challenge is to kind of keep that WundaCore really steady. Inhale as we fan the left ribs, exhale as we unwind. It's not a great big range of movement. Don't think about your arm taking a big journey. You can see my arm is not really moving very much at all, except to fix my hair, right? We're just doing that little arc, fanning the left ribs. And if you want to add even more balance challenge, you can pick your right heel up about halfway, and then you're going to find a really sincere challenge to hold everything together. Inhale as we arc. Exhale as we bring it down. Really send that energy downbound into the WundaCore. It has spring to it, right? So it's going to give you feedback. That right waistline should really be lighting up. Left inner thigh is really actively stabilizing you as you move. Hold this next one here. We're going to do foot rolls for everyone. So we're not moving the torso. We're picking up the right heel and then printing it back down with intention. Keep a little bend in that right elbow for 3. Opening length as we tone for 2. And this is the last one. Nice job, you guys. All right, we're going to go into some heel taps on our knees. I like to take the WundaCore behind my back. I'm going to show you a little bit closer. I have my thumbs inside of it and fingertips out. Once we're there, knees go wide, big toes touch, similar to a child's pose setup. And really reach your arms super, super long, so long that you feel your collarbones open and your middle back broaden. Then on the exhale, crease at the hips, sitting bones broad, and we lower down towards the heels. Maybe you don't get all the way down, but do what works for you today. And inhale as we bring it up. Major tricep lighting up, major width across the middle back. of the core because we're holding our body in really nice alignment. Exhale, reaching down. Inhale, can you lift from the base of your pelvis narrowing rather than your quadriceps wanting to take over? Inhale as we lift. Exhale, creasing, broadening the sitting bones to lower. We're going to do a different version of this in two. We're just going to change position of our knees and the WundaCore. And last one like this. Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring the WundaCore overhead. So now it's flat, kind of like a little halo, elbows bent a lot. And I'm going to take my knees, they were wide like this, take them right under your hips. So about 4 inches apart, parallel, toes are no longer touching. We're going to crease with the hips, exhale down, inhale, bring it back up. So same range of movement, but now we're upping that cardio challenge, bringing the arms up and overhead. And we're using that WundaCore with intention. Send energy in on the WundaCore. It's not going to change shape, that's by design, but it does flex and it gives you that feedback, broadening your upper back, lengthening your spine, broadening your collarbones, and getting you really connected to the core, even though from the outside this looks maybe a little bit like a leg exercise. But now you know better. Now you know this is all about core effort, working with the glutes, with the hamstrings, with the inner and outer thighs. It's all together. Last one, we're gonna hold it halfway, and we're just gonna go intentionally inbound on the WundaCore and release. Send energy in and release. Send energy in and release. Collarbones are wide, in and release. Last two. Last one, and set the WundaCore down. It's going to go into our left hand, doing the single leg kneeling on the left side. So left leg is forward, left elbow maintains that little bend. That's critical, otherwise we're going to lock up our shoulder, and that's not what we want to do. Once we're there, I'm going to take the right arm up and over, and here we go. That energy is down, down, lengthening and opening the right side of the waistline, and bring it back to start. It's not about the arm diving or the head diving. It's about a reach and fanning those right ribs. Watch that left hip. Mine wants to hike up a little bit, so you have to actively send the left hip down as we are bringing the arm overhead. Arcing and flaring the ribs just to the side, opening like a fan, and bring it back. You should feel that left waistline light up. And yeah, that right inner thigh. They're all working together, guys. So send energy down into the WundaCore, feel the connection into the right inner thigh, that's your standing leg. You can always feel your heel up for more challenge. It gets a lot more wobbly real fast. And let's hold the next one, hold. Melt your left hip down a little bit, melt both shoulders down, and then we're gonna go into the foot roll. So we're peeling the heel up and bringing it back down, peeling it up. Ooh, my WundaCore is wobbling and bringing it back down. Fan those right ribs, adding space between the ribs a little bit more. This is the last one. And bring it all the way down. Nice job, you guys. All right, we're gonna come up onto our feet, and we're gonna go into some weight shifts. So we're gonna do this with a wide turned out position. And we're going to go towards the right to start with. We're going to go down to the right, so I'm bending just my right leg, my right inner thigh spirals forward, left leg is long, and I have energy inbound on the WundaCore. So find that, feet are turned out, and then we're going to inhale, rise up. We'll get the other side in a moment, so just stay going towards the right. Exhale as we shift to the right, energy inbound on the WundaCore. Inhale as you straighten both legs with intention. I'm not sure if you can catch it on the screen, but I'm actively stretching that right kneecap up into the quadriceps. I'm not just kind of dropping into a knee bend and popping into a kickstand. It's an active reach of the inner thigh coming up outside the crown of the head. And the WundaCore helps you to find that by sending that inbound intention, allows you to connect that inner thigh, glute, hamstring all to the core. Just take a quick glance down, making sure you have your knee aligning with big toe, second toe. Let's go for two more. We're gonna hold it down because you know you can. Inhale to raise, exhale to lower, hold. We're going to peel the right heel off the floor, float the arms overhead, and then we're going to butterfly, upper inner thigh, spiraling back. It's a small range of movement. Check that you have breath in the backside of your left knee for 3. We have an archetypal squat coming in 2. Bring the right heel down and WundaCore comes down. Keep your feet wide like this, and we're going to take the WundaCore the long way. We're going to use it for balance, support, and feedback. So I brought my feet in a little bit, I lied. They're not quite that wide. But I'm going to hold a nice archetypal squat here. And this WundaCore can just be used for balance and general positioning while we're working. So I'm just having my elbows inside of my knees. I'm stretching through the inner thighs, creating powerful mobile hips and also flexibility in the ankles. If your heels aren't all the way down, that's fine. We're working towards that. But think about that joint opening and allowing room, allowing that space in your body. And just check that you're not hanging off the hips. I was kind of hanging there for a minute. So see if you can give a little more intention and a little more lift. We're breathing, we're having a good old time. We're gonna go into the weight shift on the other side next. Let's go for 8, 7, 6. We're gonna breathe for 3, 2, and with intention, inhale and rise. Ooh, that's a killer. All right, let's take that nice wide stance. Hands go outside the WundaCore again, and we're gonna go into our weight shifts other side. So now I'm thinking about that left thigh bone, dropping deeply into the pelvis, and then an inhale lifts me with my breath. Left thigh bone drops deeply in, and inhale as you raise. Collarbones are wide, middle back is active. We're not riding that knee joint, you guys. Really think about that core stabilizing you. Feel the thigh bone drop in, and in return, that thigh bone drives the knee outbound. Check in with this standing leg. Do you have some breath behind your knee, or are you just kind of kickstanding on it? Find some energy and intention head to toe. What, you're just holding your WundaCore? No, no, no. Send energy in there. Hold the next one with your weight shift, hold. We're gonna peel the left heel off the floor, pause, maybe plug that thigh bone a little more deeply into the pelvis, and then we're gonna go into that butterfly, opening to the side, spiraling that inner thigh back, spiral it back. For 3, for 2, we're gonna be laying on our back again. Last one, bring your heel down and rise up. Let's go onto our back. We're gonna go into some diamonds with our tabletop legs, but making a diamond shape with our knees. And we're gonna hold the WundaCore the long way. My hands are gonna be here in the concave part rather than on the wide part. So lay down on your backs. WundaCore is over our chest to start with. We're gonna pick up our right leg into tabletop. Then pick up your left leg into tabletop. Find a neutral pelvis. Big toes touch and inner thighs spiral outbound. So from this angle, I'm making a diamond from my pelvis to my knees to my toes. Yeah? And then the arms are gonna go long now that we've got our legs situated. And we're gonna inhale as we raise, and the WundaCore slides between the knees. And then we're gonna exhale as we lower down. Inhale as we pick it up, and exhale as we set it down. I'm sending some inbound intention onto the WundaCore while we're working. So send some inbound intention there. It has more flex than the wide parts, and that's gonna allow you to connect again to the midline of the body. It should feel like a zipper up the center line of your body, up your spine. It should feel like a zipper. All right, here we go. We're gonna add some challenge here. We're gonna hold this next one. Arms are long, energy inbound on the WundaCore. Take your right leg, deliver it all the way out into a full reach. I'm not touching the floor, but I'm getting pretty darn close. Bring it back in. And then we're gonna do doubles, right? I told you it was gonna be singles, doubles. So that's 2 legs, full extension, and then a left leg, full extension. So you're gonna choose in your own body what works for you. Maybe a full extension, not for you today. Maybe you work with a little bit of a bent knee rather than a fully extended leg. Maybe you do a hold, or honestly, you guys, you're gonna get effort even if you just imagine and visualize your body doing the exercise, doing the full extension. Think about what it looks like, what it would feel like, and then maybe give it a shot. Maybe go out an inch or two. Find what works well for you. This is the last time on the right. Last time doubles. Send some energy inbound on that WundaCore. Feel those inner thighs really, really active. Inhale as you reach. Both legs are together. Head comes all the way down. All right, excuse me. We're gonna go into one final item of fun. You know I love downhill ski. You guys know it. You know it's coming. All right, we're gonna take that WundaCore in between our legs and we're gonna come into a plank. So it's gonna go the long way between the legs. This is the last thing, and then we stretch. Hands come wide onto your mat. Step your feet back into your best plank. And here we go. We're gonna swivel towards the left. This is an exhale. Crease at the hips. Shift your weight back. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, swivel to the right. Reaching with length. Now you'll notice, keep working on your end. You'll notice if you're mashing in on the WundaCore, it's gonna tip. It's gonna tip like this. And that's not what we want. That means you're pressing in on it too hard. You have to hold it with space. This is by design. You know how I know? I designed it. That's how I know. So it is designed to be held with breathing room and space when we're working with it, even when we're shifting side to side. And if we press in, that means we're pressing in with our legs and not moving with our core. So find that breath. You might even feel some shake, and that's what we're after. These look great, you guys. I can see it on your end. Let's go for one more either direction, and we stretch. We did it. Beautiful. This is the last one. Find that last beautiful plank. Inhale, and bring your knees to your mat. Amazing work, you guys. It's time to stretch. We did it already. It was so fun. All right, we're gonna go into a little bit of a runner stretch with our WundaCore. So I'm gonna keep the right knee down and take the left leg forward in front of me. Left leg is long. And we're gonna use the WundaCore the long way. It's gonna go around the ball of the foot. And you can just kind of find your best position here. Maybe this is a good stretch for you. Maybe you're touching onto something for balance, that's fine. Maybe you can go into a deeper stretch. Just walk your hands up the WundaCore for what feels good for your body. Draw the toes back to you. And you can kind of choose what feels great for your body as we stretch through the back side of the leg, through the inner thigh, through the hip. Good. I like a little rotation here. So I'm opening my body towards the right as I hold with the left hand. And bring it back through center. We're gonna go into a puppy pose. So we're gonna take it the wide way like this. And I'm going into basically a child's pose. Knees are wide, toes are touching. Elbows go down. And then I'm gonna bring the WundaCore overhead. And it just really opens in a beautiful way through the shoulders, through the middle back. I'm sending energy inbound on the WundaCore that helps the collarbones and shoulders to open. Nice deep breath here, then come on up, and then we're going to take that runner's lunge on the other side. So this time the left leg stays down, the right leg goes forward. I am around the ball of the right foot. And then again, you choose what's good for you here. You can walk your hands down further on the WundaCore so you can use it almost like steps, little gradations going on. You can pull the toes or the ball of foot up, and that's going to deepen your stretch. And we can also go into a rotation and open through the waistline, open through the ribs. And bring it back to center. Amazing work as always, my friends. I sincerely thank you for being here, not only to work out with me, but really in your support of me. I feel it personally, and of the WundaCore. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and my core. I love you. Have a beautiful day.